What's going on, everybody? Josh Engleman here for Stokastic.com, back again with those NFL DFS contenders for Sunday Night Football, Bears and Packers. Now be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know when everything goes live. Follow me on Twitter at Josh Engleman. Only place you get any updates to my sim results as we get closer to lock. Let me know in the comments section, who are your favorite plays for tonight's game? Who are your least favorite plays? What do you see that I'm doing that you don't like? What do you see that I'm doing that you do like? I want to know it in the comments. And then finally, I want you guys to go check out Prize Picks. They are the presenting sponsor of this video. If you click the link in the description of the video and go sign up, you'll get a deposit match bonus of up to $100. If you put in 35 bucks, they'll match with 35. But if you put in a full 100, they will match with that full $100. I think that's the best way for you guys to do it. Get as much as you can on the deal. Plenty of tools at Stokastic that I think will help you out. Now, we're on to the bottom of my top 10. Allen Lazard, Mason Crosby, Darnell Mooney, the Packers defense, and David Montgomery on the outside looking in. Who will be my favorites? My top 5 plays for today? It's time to find out. First up at number 5, we've got Cole Kmet. He is 2K, projected for 7 fantasy points. The Bears are massive underdogs here, 10-point dogs, 41.5 point total. Not expecting a ton of offensive output here from Chicago. Just a 0.4% chance that Kmet goes for north of 30 fantasy points. Obviously, we're not really looking for that. 2% likelihood he's your optimal captain. 43% though that he's optimal at the flex spot because he's 2K. This looks like an incredible spot to save some salary to be able to pay up elsewhere. You assume Chicago's going to have to throw, particularly in the second half, being behind in this one. That should benefit Kmet. But the real key here is that it doesn't take all that much for Kmet to be optimal. If he gets 8-9 fantasy points, it's almost a guarantee that you will need him. So take it to the value here. Make sure you're getting to Cole Kmet. And then in at number 4, part of a pack of guys from number 4 all the way down to 8, Darnell Mooney. Basically no separation. This entire tier looks the same. Aaron Jones, kind of the opposite of Cole Kmet. 12,200, projected for 16.5. Packers massive favorites. You expect Aaron Jones to get a ton of work in the second half. 10% chance he goes for north of 30. 9% chance that he is your optimal captain, so you probably need about 30 for Aaron Jones to be your captain. 37% likelihood, though, that he is optimal at the flex. His floor feels so high in this matchup. If it's competitive, you know he's out there in both facets of the game. If it's not competitive for the Packers side of it, you know that he's probably getting a bunch of carries in the second half. I'm happy to pay the 12-2 price tag, but it is a healthy number. I think Jones and Kmet pair very well today. Yeah, today, I'm right. The game is tonight. I'm so used to doing these where it might be on a different day. I love this pairing here just because you need to save salary somewhere. What better way than to get my number 5 guy with my number 4 guy? That better way is to take a step up in tier and go to AJ Dillon. He's 8,400, projected for 14 fantasy points. Everything that I just said about the Packers is true for Dillon, the same way that it was for Aaron Jones. 7% likelihood to go for north of 30, but a 13% chance that he's your optimal captain. You need a lot less than 30 fantasy points from AJ Dillon for him to be the optimal captain. Whether it's Dillon or Jones, whether it's Dillon and Jones, if you want to be extra different, I think that's here because AJ Dillon is in the optimal lineup 10% more frequently than Aaron Jones. He's the first guy in the coin flip club. Man, I can't talk today, and I've been talking for most of this morning. That's a big gap. You can see a clear line in the sand between number 3 and number 4. Dillon is the guy that I'm looking to get to from the Packers backfield. I don't mean to sell Aaron Jones short, but it's just so much easier to fit AJ Dillon in a lineup than it is Aaron Jones. In at number 2, just barely edging out Dillon, we go to Justin Fields, 10,200, projected for 16 fantasy points. Bears obviously big underdogs, 8% chance for Fields to go for north of 30, 11% likelihood he's your captain, 46% optimal at the flex spot, gets him to 57% in total, 1 percentage point higher than AJ Dillon. If the game is competitive, you probably need Justin Fields. I think he's the way that this game stays in and around it. Like, look, a 10-point line is a 10-point line. That's not a great spot for Justin Fields. You don't want Justin Fields to be having to sling it around in the second half. But if this stays competitive, I think he's doing it with his legs. I think he can do it with his arm, hopefully with a pass to Cole Kmet. But at 10-2, just based on his rushing ability, I think that the floor is kind of high here for Fields, and that's why you see him show up in the second spot. Now, before we get to that number one contender, one last reminder, like, subscribe, notification bell so you know when everything goes live. Follow me on Twitter at Josh Engleman. Get in the comments and let me know what you like tonight, and then go sign up at Prize Picks using the link in the description. Closing it out at number one, obviously, we've got Aaron Rodgers, 10,600, projected for just shy of 19 fantasy points. Big favorites here against Chicago, and we know how Aaron Rodgers feels about beating the Chicago Bears. 20% likelihood Rodgers goes for north of 30, 20% likelihood he's your optimal captain, plus another 52% at the flex. I didn't expect it to be significantly easier to get to Aaron Rodgers over Aaron Jones, but the price difference here is staggering, and Aaron Rodgers just completely separates from the pack. So we had that tier of 4 through 8, all in the mid 40s. Pick whatever you want out of there. Scrolling on it right now, you're probably needing 2 or 3 of those guys. You want at least 1 or 2 of Fields and Dillon, but you almost have to have Aaron Rodgers. 72% aggregate likelihood to be in the optimal. That is 15% more than Justin Fields in the 2 spot. Don't overcomplicate it. If you're building lineups tonight, Aaron Rodgers is your guy. He is my number one contender. Alrighty, folks, that will do it. Those are my NFL DFS contenders for Sunday Night Football, Bears and Packers. FanDuel version of this video is around here somewhere, so check it out. Good luck tonight, everybody. Win some money. We're back again tomorrow morning for another edition of the Contenders.